Welcome back everyone to Scavenging with Pineleaf, a series of tales, travels, and trifles, where this week we'll be revisiting some places where we've gone all throughout our time in LOTRO, and seeing some heights and some depths. Speaking of revisiting, you remember perhaps that during the first year we did a little visit here to High King's Crossing, where I don't think we had a very good view because it was probably night. But here we have a real nice view of the Colossus. We went down to the Colossus and I was wondering why I was at the bottom there instead of being told to go to the height. And that is because when you do the travels for the first year to visit monuments, you visit the bottom of it. And I had forgotten that it is during the third year, which we're doing today, that you actually go up onto the top. So this time we will be allowed to grab the rope, and we'll be able to have a nice view from the very top of this monumental height. Yes, truly a towering height. And of course we have this particular height when we are questing within the North Downs, not the North Downs, within Evendim, where we collect all sorts of items along the river. And when we collect those items in there, we fix a catapult that was used to bring a rope all the way up here so that now they're able to come up to the top and take a look what's up here, and you have a nice view. There you have Tinendir and all the various places of the Lake Evendim area, and there is the Brandywine and a broken sword, all sorts of things. And down here we would have a numinous. Oh yes, a truly towering height. So now let's head to the next one, which is Minhelk. And here we are at another towering height, where we have giants all over the place. And most of my memories from here aren't exactly all that wonderful, because it's trying to fight these giants, and these giants aren't exactly the biggest thrill to fight. They have a habit of knocking you back, triple teaming you. I mean, what can be worse than having to fight something that's about 10 times your height, 10 times your strength, 10 times this, 10 times that? And that's fighting 3 of those at the same time. Yeah, look at that. Really? Okay, well. Alright, let's see. I go to up his boots. Then we got to the knees. 3, yeah. 10 times sounds fair enough to me. But, yes. This is really a real nasty place to go. And some of my memories are, of course, from doing earlier parts of this. This is the 3rd time I've had to come up here. Whew! Now let's see if I can find something a little bit more civilized. Oh. Yeah, I have one more of these things here. Good thing I didn't leave too early. Oh, there's a virtual trail to these. That's the 4th one. Really? How many memories are there up here? They're probably not good memories. Yeah, these giants, they are just terrifying. That's all I gotta say. When you talk about great heights and depths all over the place, yeah, great heights would be on the shoulders of one of these things. Now, let's go to some place a little nicer. The Red Horn Pass! Yeah. Ah, yes. The Red Horn Pass. We've been here also. I notice how the first 3 locations you visit during this particular round are all places you've been before. So therefore, it's certainly not the height of efficiency in doing this. Of course, they are all in different years on this because they all have to do with the place locations. Actually, part of it is also through Boromirs, now I think of it, so that could have been more efficiently done. But as I said, this series is not about efficiency, but doing them together with the group. Okay, this is where we went for Boromir, but doing them where they fit together. So we need to get to the height of the pass. I think that's up here somewhere. Yes, truly a towering height. Unfortunately, the view here is not nearly as good as it was in Ivendym. Yes, it's in the middle of the day, game time, but we have all this blinding snow because we know that Casadude was angry for some reason or another. I'm not exactly sure why, but if you cross Casadude, you're not going to be crossing it in the literal sense of the term. Or maybe I could find a better way of phrasing that. So if you want to cross Casadude, then don't cross Casadude. Yes. Right. Well, yes, we had this thing where Boromir and company, of course, tried to get up here and completely failed because the snowstorm was just too tough for all of them to get through. And of course you have a number of quests here where you're trying to find out, did the company come this way? Oh yeah, they came this way. Unfortunately, they certainly didn't get across the mountains this way. Well, where did they go then? Ah, into Moria. And that's where we're going. There is another look at Casadude, but now it is time for us to scale up Zerazigil. See how high we have to get up there before we get memories of that. Of course, we don't have all that many memories of Zerazigil. We do come up here on a couple of occasions. One of those occasions is, of course, to... There we go. Is in the epic storyline. So I'm not too sure that we came quite up in this direction. I don't think there are too many occasions to come up to the... Oops, sorry. To some of the higher points on Zerazigil. In the epic storyline, though, where we look for clues as to the location of the path in order to get to Mazog. There you go. And all sorts of things there. And of course, way down there, you see Diren's Bane, who made quite a dent into this mountain, you could say. But it's getting cold here, and I'm getting tired of going all around in these cold places, so let's go inside to a place that's a little bit warmer. And fortunately, we don't have to go into the Flaming Deeps, because that may be a little bit too warm. If you recall, one of the rewards for this particular one was a Moria Well. So obviously, we had to visit the well in the Chamber of Crossroads. All sorts of memories here, because this is where Pippin threw a stone ill-advisedly into here. And there's more than one player who has, let's say, taken a shortcut into the waterworks. But right now, what we need to find are the endless stairs, and that is in the very depths of Casadude. That's right, the foundations of stone. Today's question is, what's the easiest way to get to the endless stair? And of course, that's a trick question because there is no easy way. Truly a wondrous depth, yes, the very bottom of the foundations of stone, and the very bottom of the endless stair. So let's have our memories here where we come in order to get clues about what happened to Mithrandir. And of course, we didn't get too much information except that the endless stair is now broken, so you can no longer use it in order to get from the foundations of stones all the way up to the peaks of Zirazigo. So now, let us go to some place that's even more terrifying, the Bridge of Casadude. Our greatest memory here, of course, is in a session play where we were finding our way through this hall, coming up here, getting all the way up here, and oh yeah, hello, let's run away! And then we had to run up and cross the bridge after a bit of a terrifying moment there. You have discovered the eastern arch of the Bridge of Casadude. Yeah. Tells you how much I've been here. Truly a wondrous depth. Well, actually, it's only a wondrous depth. Oh, wait. That's why it's scary. It's a long way down from up here. But, yes, this is where you cross in the session play, because during the session play, you are up here, and you have an opportunity to actually see the entire bridge intact. But it's terrifying because the dwarves, for some reason, have never developed handrail technology. Or at least guardrail technology, actually, I think might even be more important for this particular case. Yes, guardrails to keep you safe in your passage through Casadude. I am now out of Moria and in Lothlorien, and now I need to find the Highest Fleck. Oh dear. And this is truly a towering height. Looks like this is a place we must have come during the epic storyline with Nona. This might be the same place there. The idea here is, of course, you come here after all your troubles in Moria. Bit of a respite from that after all the darkness there. And of course you come here again after the Great River, after some dark incidents there, even though not as literally dark as the other place. And oh boy, yes, this is truly a towering height. Nice and golden and lovely. Hard to believe this is winter. And speaking of winter, we are now back in the heights, and here in Thor's Coombe, and up it to Nars Peak, where we are supposed to be going today. So what do we have in Nars Peak to remember? Of course, we do have the epic storyline where we have a quest where we're supposed to get all the way up here and assist the dwarves that are being attacked there because they are attempting to attack Nar for some reason And of course, that it seems to be most likely all a game of Saruman and all that fun stuff. So we're sort of being led through to be delayed just for giggles, it sounds like. And unfortunately, it's not for our giggles, it is for Saruman's giggles. So we climb up here, up and up and up. And, oh yes, here's the place where I think we had one ranger up there that was completely useless in that particular instance, but we had this troll to get across here because, yes, what is a bridge without at least running into one troll along the way? They actually had to have that motif at least once in LOTRO, right? And here we are up to Nars Peak, a truly towering height. Of course, we have one of the stones of the dwarves up here. And Nar lives up in there, who isn't exactly in his right mind due to all of the troubles he went through in Moria, or I should say more accurately, outside the gates of Moria. And yes, a breathtaking view. Of course it's a breathtaking view. It has to be breathtaking after all that climbing you do. And we have only one more place to go. And that's another true height, but this time it's not a height of a mountain. It's the height of a city. Here we are on the pier in Minas Tirith, which is the last of our stops for today, because we are to visit the tip of the prow, which is way up there. And I presume it's called the prow because, well, it sort of feels like one. It sticks out the front, similar to how the prow will stick out on the front of a ship. And here we have a terrible storm brewing, because this is before the battle, and all the forces are operating together to go against him. And I presume this is the chair where Faramir and Eowyn sit as they look out, wondering what is happening to everyone. And what word do they receive? Well, alas, that word won't be known until we release the Mordor expansion, of course. But oh yeah, a storm is brewing at this point. And of course, if you saw the Pelennor series, you know how that storm went. But that is heights and depths. So another scavenger card complete. Now next time, of course, we will have some trifles. And this time, with feeling. And we will get to that in our next episode of Scavenging with Pineleaf, a series of tales, travels, and trifles.